Hi, fourth grade, and welcome back to Math with Mr. G. Today we're going to be continuing our work with our objective with solving multi-step word problems. We're going to be working today on a few more difficult ones and ones that have more than one part connected to it. So there's going to be a lot of steps and ways that we build on each other. We're going to be looking at the strategies that we use to solve these and to make sure that our answers between the two parts or more stay consistent. So let's look at the first one for today. So I have here a word problem. I'll zoom in right here for you. It says, let me do my black here. For the bake sale, Connie baked 144 cookies. Esther baked 49 more cookies than Connie. About how many cookies did Connie and Esther bake? Estimate by rounding each number to the nearest 10 before adding. Okay, so we're going to do our cubes here on the side. Sorry about that, just getting an update on my computer. Perfect, okay. So let's first, since there's two people here, why don't we, for the sake of just making this a little easier to read, since this is our first time dealing with these like two-part ones, let's make ourselves a chart here on the side. And it's going to be kind of a smaller chart, not like some of the longer ones we've done in the previous videos, where we have even like 4 people. Let's start with just this. Actually, let's make that just a little wider so we can see it just a little easier. There we go. Okay, so we have Connie and we have Esther. So we know that Connie baked 144 cookies. We know that Esther baked 49 more cookies than Connie. Okay, so now I can get in my cubes method. I have as much as I can organized on this paper. So now we can dive right into our cubes method. Okay, so let's first circle our important numbers that we have. And this is just for part A. We haven't looked at part B yet. So for the bake sale, Connie baked 144 cookies and 49 more. Okay. Now let's underline important words. So our unit is cookies. And we know that Esther baked 49 more, which tells me that I am adding. It's a big clue word for that. Now here's another clue word for you guys that you might remember from past videos is about. About tells us to round. And I'm going to use that symbol there, just kind of like that wave that tells us that we're rounding or estimating. So we want to find out this part right here. See this and? That tells us we're adding. So not only do I need to round, but I also need to add these two together to find a total. So I'm going to add to this chart here in just a second. So I need to estimate by rounding each number, so each tells me each one, to the nearest 10 before adding. All right, so it's actually giving me some steps. I got to first find out the exact for Esther. I'm going to round both of them to the tens place. And then I'm going to add those rounded numbers together to see about how many they bake together. So now I need a box what's being asked. I could also box this piece here as well. Okay, there's not anything that I can really eliminate. I mean, I can eliminate for the bake sale, but there's not a whole lot I can eliminate. There's a lot of really important information in this one, and now let's solve. Okay, so our first step is let's find the exact amount of cookies that Esther baked. So to do that, I need to add 49 to the 144. So I'm going to do that just over here on the side, so I make sure I have room for my future calculations that I have to do. Like so. Okay, 4 plus 9 is 13, carry the 1. 1 plus 4 is 5, plus 4 again is 9, carry down the 1, 193. All right, so I know that Esther baked 193 cookies, exactly. Not estimated yet. So now I need to round each of these. So I'm going to add to our chart here. And I'm actually going to add a bottom piece too for our total. That's why it's important to leave room for your chart, because you might find that you need to go back through and add more and more to it to keep yourself organized. So this is going to be our total. Forgot the last column here. Okay, so this side is going to be our exact numbers. This side is going to be our rounded numbers. And I'm even going to do the symbols kind of over it, and I'll do it in blue so we can see it in contrast to that black, like this. And this tells me that it means about, but we've rounded it. There. Okay. So let's first round 144 cookies. We need to round it to the tens place. So 144. I'm going to do this in red. So I'm going to circle what I'm rounding. I'm going to look next door. I see that this is a 4, which means I'm going to let this rest. So it's going to stay a 4, and this is going to be a 0. So let's rewrite this. So it's about, remember, keep all the numbers to the left the same, 140 cookies. So let's do the same for our 193 as well. So 193. We're going to round to the tens place. We're going to look next door. Okay, so same thing. Let's do the red actually. Same thing. 3 is 4 or less, so I'm going to let this tens place rest. So it's going to stay the same. It's going to be first, of course, the 1, and then 9, which is staying the same, and then a 0 afterwards. Cookies. So she made about 190 cookies. So now I can add these two together. So let's add the rounded amounts, 190 plus 140, like so. 0 plus 0 is 0. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2, plus another 1 is 3. So remember, this isn't the exact. This is how much we've rounded. So we know the total is about 330 cookies. This isn't the exact amount. So we've answered for this part, A, but now let's look at B. They want to know now exactly how many cookies that Connie and Esther baked. So I'm adding again here. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to add these exact numbers. So 193 plus 144. And let's make that addition symbol look more like an addition symbol. There we go. All right, 3 plus 4 is 7. 9 plus 4 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 1 is 2. Plus 1 is 3. So 337. Exactly. Awesome. Okay. So I can't stress enough with ones like this. Like, use your strategies, draw a picture. Of course, use the cubes method. And as you guys know by now, I am a big fan of charts to keep yourself organized, because especially when these get to maybe even 3 or 4 parts, you're going to want to keep this information up here really organized, because you're going to need it for every step all the way down. And that's going to make your life so much easier if you just have it in an easy place to look like this, as opposed to having to read through all of this or look back through your work that you've done in terms of, addition, subtraction, multiplication, or division. So again, organization is key. Okay, so let's look at this one. Let's put our cubes over here on the side. Let's move this over. This way we have lots of room to work. So let's do our cubes. We'll just do our cubes right here. I usually like to have a little more farther, over to the right, but I think we're going to use this right spot for our working space. So let's read it. During National Recycling Month, Mr. Yardley's class spent 4 weeks collecting empty cans to recycle. Now see this is a chart. So since you guys are pros by now at charts, this should be exactly what you need to work on this, and it's exactly everything you need to complete what's being asked. So you guys will notice that we have week 1, 3, and 4 already filled in, and presumably exact amounts, but we don't have week 2. So keep that in mind as we read A here. During week 2, the class collected 1,256 more cans than they did during week 1. Find the total number of cans Mr. Yardley's class collected in 4 weeks. All right, let's cubes this. So let's circle important words. There's 4 weeks, which is important. During week 2, I'm not going to circle 2 for this because this is kind of more of a name. They collected 1,256 more cans than they did during week 1. Find the total number of cans and collected in 4 weeks. Awesome. Now let's underline important words, measures. So we're working with weeks. We're also working with cans. And cans is going to be our measure for this. We need to underline this here, more, because more tells us that we're adding. Then we need to find the total, okay? Total, of course, tells us that we're adding up everything for the final amount. So let's now box what's being asked of us. We need to find the total collected in 4 weeks. We can eliminate during National Recycling Month, even the name of the class. We don't care that much about that. It's not pertinent to solving the equation or answering it. Now let's solve. So first we need to find out what week 2 had in store for us here. So 1,256 more cans than week 1. So week 1 is 10,827 plus 1,256. 7 plus 6 is 13. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, plus 5 is 8. 8 plus 2 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 0 is 1, plus 1 is 2. Carry down the 1. 12,083. I'm even going to type that in here, just on our chart, because I'm a big fan of charts. 12,083 cans. Now we have to find the total. Okay, so I'm going to scooch this down just a little bit so we have room, because we need to add all these numbers up. And I'm going to do it in different groupings here. Pairs, as always. So 10,827 for week 1. I am adding to 12,083. 7 plus 3 is 10. Carry the 1. 1 plus 2 is 3. Plus 8 is 11. 1 plus 8 is 9. 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 1 is 2. So I'll even go back up here and I'll check off that I've added week 1 and I've added week 2. So now we're going to add week 3. So I'm going to rewrite this 22,910 over here. Now we're going to add week 3, which is 10,522. Like so. All right, 0 plus 2 is 2. 1 plus 2 is 3. 9 plus 5 is 14. Carry the 1. 2 plus nothing is 3. 2 plus 1 is 3. So I've added week 3. Now rewrite that number again. Scooch over just a little bit. 33,432 plus 20,011. Okay. 2 plus 1 is 3. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 plus 0 is 4. 3 plus 0 is 3. And 3 plus 2 is 5. Okay. So there's our total. So I'm actually going to rewrite our answer here on the side. Let's do it right here, actually. So 53,443 total cans. Circle that. There's our final answer for that. Okay. So as always, if you followed this long, we're going to go over one of the questions on the assessment. And that way you guys can have a good sense of what's going to be asked on the assessment and the steps involved for those questions. So this one says, a 55-gallon barrel is filled with water. It leaks out at a rate of 3 gallons per minute. How much water will be left in the barrel after 12 minutes? Okay, so we have a lot going on here. Let's cubes it and perhaps even build ourselves a chart. But let's see what steps are necessary for solving this.